Sifu Adam Willis here. I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes Wing Chun, what separates good Wing Chun from just lower level Wing Chun or just practitioners that aren't focusing on a few simple things that I'm going to discuss in this video, and just what those specific things are, so that regardless of who you are, regardless of what lineage you have or who your teacher has been, to help you delineate between what is good Wing Chun. Okay. What qualities within a Wing Chun practitioner must they develop in order to actually be able to apply? Okay, so this is the separation. The first thing is going to be the mind and the intent of what someone or what a practitioner is bringing. Make sure that when you're training, whether it's at home or in class or with other people, that you put your all into that moment. Put everything you have and then another 110%. Put every bit of your focus in there so that your awareness can grow. With time, you're going to be able to, your bandwidth within yourself is going to grow, and you're going to be able to do so much more than you were before. Both hands, being able to have both hands always searching for the center, constantly. What often happens is people doing something with one hand and this one hand goes asleep and just stays there. Okay, it can't. You've got to be aware that both hands are simultaneously and individually searching for the center line of the other person. That's constant. So you're plugging both of them in. Now with that, the duality also goes into your legs too. We have our knees and our elbows are constantly searching for that center. Okay. So that's the second thing, duality, making sure that something's not going to sleep, nothing's dormant. And in the beginning, you just can't do that. You've got to build. Again, this is bandwidth. All these things grow with you over time as long as you keep practicing these things year over year, right? So that is the second thing, and we call it duality. The third thing is precision and center. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're constantly focusing in on that center. Now that goes into duality and mind intent, so these all play off one another. But if at any time your mind starts to focus in on chasing a hand, that's why we say don't chase hands, but yet almost everyone does it, even higher level, or even, they're not higher level, even those that have titles such as Sifu, Master, Grandmaster, they chase hands, okay? So to me, those people that are constantly chasing hands like that, they're not high level regardless of their titles, okay? Titles don't really mean a thing. But what you can do, what you can actually do, and that's why I'm talking about these qualities. So anyway, this is the ability to constantly go to the center and be precise. If for some reason you're feeling a lot of pressure between you and the other person, it means you are no longer precise. So a lot of people don't realize that, but when you're taking on pressure and you're struggling with the other person, your precision, your center is gone. You need to stay light into what they're into through their arms in order to get to their center. Right? So you can't struggle too much. You just won't be able to be precise anymore. So that's the second one, or I'm sorry, the third one, which is precision and center. The next one is position and timing. Now, these things go together. You need to be in the right position at the right time. In other words, make sure that position is really what you're focusing on, positioning, rather than speeding your way or even trying to overpower your way. You'll notice that speed and power are not two of the qualities of good Wing Chun. They are byproducts of these qualities, okay? So timing and position and timing are making sure that wherever this other person is moving, you're moving to a position of strength. The dummy shows you all these different positions, the forms as well, the other forms. But keeping that position and your geometry, as we call it, as we're sparring, as we're chi saoing, as we're doing these different things, is super important. Hands and feet have to work as kind of one unit in order to do this. In other words, when your weight lands on one side, that's when your attacks are coming. Your punches are coming. Same thing with your defenses. The feet must go with the hands, and that's just part of timing and hitting that position all at the same time. And if you can do all that rather than here first, then here, or here and then, everything's got to be timed for yourself, but also timed in relationship to what they're doing. The moment they give you an opportunity, you need to fill that gap. So that is the fourth one, position and timing. And then the last quality is structure and root. So what we're referring to there is the ability to settle ourselves, always being a part of the ground. So this is really what root is referring to. Making sure your center of gravity is constant in that same spot, never wavering that center of gravity wherever you're going. So no matter how you're moving, you're still moving upon that one point, your center of balance, right? And keeping that same center of balance, whether you're attacking or you're being attacked, you've gotten hit, you maintain that, you still maintain that center of balance, okay? So that's your root. And then, but additional to that root is also sinking a little bit and feeling a part of the ground. Being a part of the ground means you can always leverage the power of it. That's why there's no jumping in Wing Chun, because then we're not a part of the ground. We're always using that ground wherever we go. The structure refers to within your body, and it refers to solidity within your body. Structure is short for skeletal structure. So it is aligning your bones, but then in addition to the alignment of the bones, which goes into position, there's structure is referring to certain specific muscles that are engaged in order to hold your structure as one unit, as opposed to just a separate arm, right? So when you're holding your structure, right? For instance, I'm aligning my back. We call this Ting Yu, straight lower back, aligning that so that my top and my bottom are one unit. But in solidifying that beyond position, beyond just good form, is the solidification of it. And that has to do with the glutes. The glutes must be engaged in order so no one can bend you, right? You're one piece as you move around. But basically, these are our 5 qualities of good Wing Chun or high-level Wing Chun. So using these 5 qualities, you can then say, okay, whatever lineage of Wing Chun or whatever version of Wing Chun someone is doing, if you take these 5 qualities and you say, okay, hang on, I can see this person may be working on this, but they really don't have that, right? If you're seeing people do chi sao and they're just lackadaisical and they're talking about their day or talking about something else as they're doing it, they don't have their mind and intent into it. They really can't. There's too many things to focus on these 5 qualities, namely to meditate upon in order to become Wing Chun. You don't learn Wing Chun, you become Wing Chun. And that's why you just have to put all of your effort into it. So if you're on either YouTube or you're somewhere where these qualities aren't focused upon, I encourage you to use these qualities for discernment of, okay, am I doing these 5 qualities? So in the class, if other people are not, you be the example, right? You be the example for these 5 qualities, and you will help bring your entire class up. If you're looking at YouTube and you're trying to determine, okay, is this person have good Wing Chun? Maybe they call themselves a grandmaster or a master or a sifu, and whatever their title doesn't matter. What matters is, do they have these 5 qualities? Okay, so you can look at these things and say, oh, shoot, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have this, and then you can see it for yourself, okay? So hopefully this helps. Let me know what other questions you might have. I want you to be able to discern the merits of people practicing Wing Chun, because at the end of the day, I want all Wing Chun to be high level. I want it all to be good. It's going to help everyone, and that's true meritocracy, and that's what I believe in order to raise the levels of Wing Chun.